Today I thought I would have a little play with some, if you can have clean and simple mixed media, but toned down mixed media, shall we say, my kind of mixed media. And I'm going to use just these two dies. A little hexagon, this is a Sizzix one I believe, and a Gummiapan little flower. Now I want to use the flower to start off with to do my sort of some of my background. So I made myself a stamp. So I'll show you how I did that to start with. What I got was a little bit of this stuff. It's funky foam. It says it's kids zone, it's for the kids to play with. So all you do is take a piece of funky foam, difficult to say. I'll just cut a little piece off like this. And you just run it through your die cutting machine with a regular sandwich for die cutting onto, if you were cutting card or whatever. Let's have a look, and here it is. So here's my little stamp. Even the back of this has got a pattern on, would you believe? It's amazing. They're so beautifully embossed, these dies from Gummiapan. I think they're just my favourite in the whole world. Just love them. Right, there's my little stamp. And if you want to make it a little bit more interesting, you can take out all the little bits, or if you want it just to have a solid colour, you could leave them in. So, there they go. I'm going to take mine out. It doesn't matter. For the background I have in mind, it really doesn't matter, but I'll take them out. Okay, so there's my little stamp. This one I was having a play with, and it's still fine, but I'll put this one on another block so you can see the difference, perhaps. And to attach it to the block, I do exactly the same as I would with a Gummiapan die, which is just rubber. I just put a little smear of glue stick. Yeah, both sides have got a little bit of that. Just make sure it's pressed down. Okay, so that's my stamp for my background. I'm going to use the die cuts from this. I've done a few already as my embellishments. And to help with the background, I'm going to use this stamp, which is also a Gummiapan stamp, and this one, which came out of one of my mystery bags. Those mystery bags were just fabulous. They gave you things that you didn't think you needed or wanted, and things that worked out absolutely brilliantly. So this is my piece of card that I'm going to work on. It's not watercolour card. Watercolour card may have been a good idea. I don't know, probably would have been, but I'm going to try without. So my idea is an inked background. I'm going to put some little hexagons on the top and then have some of the flowers sort of draped over that. But what I thought I would do is have a little bit of interest on the hexagons themselves. So I've got a piece of scrap here, and I'm going to just put a bit of this stamp onto it. This is pumice stone I'm using here. I've got a selection of colours which I will be revealing soon. So from this, I want to cut my little hexagons. So I'll be just doing that now. So I want a variety of got to just decide which way I want it to. A variety of bits of pattern on these. Okay. I'll have about 5 of them, I think. 1, if I can fit 5. 2. Okay, now I want to work on the background for this, first of all, and I'm going to start with exactly the same thing. I'm going to start with this, and I'm going to stamp it on here, and I'm going to use pumice stone again. I'm going to be covering it with some of the other things, but just going to put it on the right-hand side somewhere or other. Okay, now I am going to use my stamp. I'll use both of them so you can see how we get on with these. But what I'm going to do is, I've chosen these colours. I've got Lost Shadow, Saltwater Taffy, Worn Lipstick and Tattered Rose. Did myself a new chart today with the extra colours in, so that's got all 72 on now. So, first of all, let's just do some Tattered Rose. I'll use this one to start with. Okay, let's try Saltwater Taffy. I'll try my new one. Okay. And what's the other one? Worn Lipstick. Shall we try some Worn Lipstick? Okay, let's try this one. Okay. Now what I'm going to do I want this to do this now? I want a mist, just a mist of water. So I'm going to kind of spray the aerosol into the air and go whoosh like this. I want the effect to be quite subtle. Okay, I think we're doing all right. Let's have a look at some of these now. What I'm thinking is putting these around, sort of maybe like that. But I think I need to make the edges a little bit more definite. So with the pumice stone, I'm just going to do this. And I hope some of this is going to, I'll give these a bit of a swoosh with some water probably. I just want it to be, so you can see where the edges of the hexagons are. And if I get some blotchy bits on, all to the good. There we go. We're doing all right. First time I saw this kind of thing done was from one of Lou Collins' videos. She's just amazing. And I was just so inspired by it. So this is in abeyance to Lou. That's wonderful. Okay, let me just leave that for a minute. Let's just see where we're going. I'm going to pop these up onto some foam tape so that it is, you know, a bit more definite sort of thing. Maybe like that. I was thinking I was going to put some lines on from the edge with this. I may not bother with that actually. Let me just sort out the flowers. So for the flowers, what I want to do is a bit of smooshing. So with the same colours, I'm going to put a little bit on here. Okay, and we get some water on these. not quite intense enough. I've put too much water on. Let's give some of this one. This is Tattered Rose, isn't it? I was a bit generous with the squirting. Okay. Now, what I have done earlier, to try and put in the middle of these, I don't know if it's going to work. I think I may well just use some pearls, but I use some of these Nuvo Drops, but I've never been successful with them, and I think that's because I'm too impatient, and I try and, you know, move them or get them before they've set properly, and, you know, it just doesn't work. So let's just see. Not too happy with these. Let's put it in the deeper colour on. Perhaps I would have been better just doing it neat and then squirting the actual flowers with water rather than smooshing into the... I think you can get more, because they're so small, you get better colour that you want on them. Okay. Now then, let's just put a bit of definition around the edges of these. I was going to use Lost Shadow, but I think the Pumice Stone's taken the lead. No, that's not going to work. I think I might put a bit of silver gilding wax, but I'm going to have to wait until these have dried. But the idea is to have flowers, you know, descending around. So I will come back when those are dry, and we will continue with our journey into clean and simple mixed media. Well, I'm back again. My flowers have dried, and I want to just carry on doing a little bit more to the base layer before I start to add on my kind of embellishment. So I've dug out a few more Gummiapan stamps, and I'm just going to do a little bit of random stamping, and I'm going to use Pumice stone for most of this, I think. This one says, "Life is too short not to believe in magic." So we'll pop this one on, maybe in a couple of places. It doesn't necessarily need to be red, but life's too short not to believe in magic. That's the way up it goes. So let's have something just about there. And there. This is that lovely little postmark one, which I think is really rather special. I just love postmarks. I don't know why I should, but there we go. Let's have this one. There's a couple. And I've got these two little, I have no idea of what these are, but I just like them. I can't even see what they say. It's so small. Let's do this one. I don't even know which way up they go, so it doesn't matter. Right. Now what I want to do, if we want to be kind of mixed media, is to do just a little bit of stenciling. And I've got out a couple of Gummiapan stencils that I'm particularly fond of, one of numbers and the other of letters. And I think, looking at them, the numbers are less densely arranged than the letter. So I'm going to use the numbers, I think. And I just want a little bit kind of there-ish. I don't know whether to use this Nuvo glimmer paste or my own homemade embossing paste. I think what I might do, I've never used this. I've got this. This is like glossy accents. What's it called? Can't think. Crystal glaze. I think this is like crystal glaze, but it's glittery. So I thought, perhaps it's different, I don't know. What I thought I'd do is put a bit onto some of the petals. So that's for the petals. So I won't use this on the back. I'll use the plain on the background. I'll use my own embossing paste. I haven't used it for a few weeks. I better just give it a bit of a stir. It keeps really, really well. I have got another video with my embossing paste recipe, so I'll put that into the description underneath the video. Some people still, I think, are not quite sure how to find the description of videos. It partly depends on what device you're looking at the videos on, but beneath the picture of the video there is probably some writing, partly form of a description, but very often at the end of it will say more, and if you click on that, then the rest of the description should become apparent. Let's just have a look at that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I likey. Oh, that's lovely. If I wanted to, I could drop a little embossing powder onto it and either leave it or heat set it. I could add some luscious powder. I could add some just regular glitter. The world's my lobster, as I've often said. You can do just so many things, but I think I'm going to actually just leave it. I'm just going to put a wet wipe over this because I didn't bring my tub of water in here, but it should wash off fairly easily. But I'm just going to keep it damp just to make sure it'll come off easily when I have time to do it. Right, so that's my embossing. I'm pleased with that. I am pleased with that. Now, what I tried to do earlier was, I think I mentioned, to make some centres with the Nuvo. Got a lot of Nuvo. I buy these things when they're on sale in bundles. Nuvo crystal drops, and I put some onto this piece of acetate, thinking I would let them dry here, because invariably, if I try and let them dry on an actual project, before they're dry, I smudge them. So I thought if I made some on a piece of acetate or whatever, I could just, if I like the look of them, I may not like the look of them when I come to put them on the flower, but I could just stick them on and there would be no risk of them going, you know, squished. So there's 4 and here's 5. And also this way you can choose, if you want, to make sure that you get a reasonable shape or whatever. Anyway, I think I still need a bit of practice with those, but time will tell. Okay, this is going to take a little bit of drying, but I think I should be able to start arranging some of this. What I'll do while I am waiting is to just carry on and do something with the flowers. I like that. Don't you like that? I think that's lovely. It's still kind of clean looking, but it is mixed media. I've just got to wipe my fingers. I did wonder, I've got out my silver gilding wax. I did wonder about a little of that to define the edges of the flowers. And when I've done previously a bit like this, I've added a bit of colour sort of behind my embellishments just to make them stand out a bit more. Whether I do that this time, I'm not sure, but we will see. So let's have a look and see. Let's see what this stuff does. Let me try it on just a regular piece of something that I'm not using for the minute. That's quite thick, isn't it? Glitter accents. What are you supposed to do with it, I wonder? Is that what you're supposed to do? Looks quite nice, doesn't it? Oh, it does look quite nice. Perhaps I'll just try a little bit on here and see how we go. Let me just get rid of this bit. I do like to see the little holes in. I think they make just a bit more interest, really. Let's just try a bit of this and see. Let's see if I like it. I don't know if this is what you're supposed to do or not. But to be honest, I don't think it matters what you're supposed to do. If you find a product and you discover a way of doing something that you like, then kind of do it. I quite like that. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do or not. But I have left the centre without any on. Sometimes when you add these, you know, special treatments, when you come to try and stick something onto it, it doesn't work so well. So I've avoided that because I do want to put some centres of some description in the centre of these flowers. So I'm not putting this stuff actually in the centre. Now, Tonic often have these sales where they do a bundle of stuff and you get a few products, and it's quite a good way of trying something, because the prices are all very much reduced in these bundles, so you do get good value. The only problem is if you don't like what you got, then it's a bit of a waste of money. So I do look kind of carefully at what is in a bundle to see if I think it's something that I actually would use. I don't want to buy stuff that, you know, I've got no hope of using. So let's just see. I think I'm going to do all of these the same, so I'll whiz this up while I'm doing this as well, so that you're not bored watching me do it. So I'll speed it up. Now I think I'm going to try a little. I'm just wondering, having said that, that's silver and that's sort of warmer, isn't it? I'm just wondering about, have I got anything in here that is nearer to pumice stone? I don't know that I have, in fact. I think it's about time I increased my supply of colours of luscious powder. I don't think there's anything there that is more on that sort of taupey sort of shade. Never mind, I'll use the silver for now. So that is a thought, to look for a colour that is going to be more on the brown side than the black. Where's my little applicator? Here we go. Need to get some more of these as well. Little eyeshadow applicators. It's so little anyway, though. There we go. So I'll whiz this up as well. There we are. Now it's what to put in the centres. Do I put those or do I put pearls? So let's just have a look at both and see which we prefer. I have some pearls just here. There's some pearls. Let's just have a look. There's one of those. Let's just put one of these pearls. They're a bit on the small side, these ones, but I think they'll be okay. I think I'm actually going to go with the Nuvo Drops. That one is kind of too small. So I'm going to go with the Nuvo Drops. And the question is, how do I attach them? I think I would just use some of this. Let's just see how we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I've made these Nuvo Drops. I might as well use them, mightn't I now? Okay. One, 2. I think it's a much safer way for me personally to do these somewhere else and then stick them on like this. So, right. Now let's just start onto a little bit of assembly. Here's, how are that doing? That's pretty much dry now, I think, that embossing, the stencil embossing. So I just want to, let me put some tape on the back of these first, and then I can just arrange and put. So I think I'll use the slightly wider stuff and just put one little blob on each thing. Right. Where's the end? Here it is. Whether I put some ink around them or not, I don't know. I'll see how brave I'm feeling. Okay. But I think it's quite fun making a stamp out of funky foam. I've done it lots of times over the years, but it's the sort of thing I tend to forget. Now, why did I do that? I want to just place these first of all. How do I want them? Okay, let's just start sticking. Okay. I don't think I want to do this exactly, you know, so it fits over the one below. I don't think I'm going to bother with that. I'll just... A lot of this will be obscured by the flowers over the top. just what to do with that one. Well, I think it's going to go there. Okay. Now these, I think these need little bits of foam tape on the back as well. Perhaps I'll use squares. I've got some here. Here we go. Still got a bit of white space just there. There we go. Now, all I need to do is to pop this onto a card base, and I think we'll be in business. Just a question of if I need a sentiment, and I'm going to need time to think about that. I can't just think, yes, I'll do it. Might be nice, actually. So, I will be back. Well, I'll put the card on the end of the video, hopefully, the finished card, so you can have a little look. And I hope you've had a bit of fun. I've had a bit of fun messing about with this. It's kind of different from my regular clean and simple, but it's kind of on those lines, and I just love this mix of colour. Absolutely love it. So, as ever, thank you so much for joining me. I do feel as if you're joining me because of the lovely comments that you make about, you know, the way you receive them, the videos. So, thank you so much for that. And I'll clean up and I'll see you very soon. Thank you for watching.